Yo, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to Billy Goat's Prophetic Vessel. It's your girl Billy Goat, and we got a message for you. Please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. This is for my Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and North Nodes, or wherever you have it in your chart, and my chosen ones. Okay. All right. This could be past, present, or future information for you. I don't choose the cards or the storyline that comes out. The Holy Spirit does in my spiritual team. Okay, so let's get it cracking here. And these are also timeless readings, regardless of when you're coming across this, okay? All right, that feels good. And again, take what resonates, leave the rest behind. Okay. So we have being a victim. Okay, so somebody could be playing a victim here when you feel like feeling like you can't change the situation, whether this is you or whoever you're dealing with here. Okay, because somebody feels like they're really attached to you here. Now, I am taking note that these cards did come out in reverse here. This says procrastinating and too soon. So some of you guys could have been dealing with a situation where, you know, maybe initially you were the type to move fast or just allow things to go. And don't get me wrong, sometimes, yes, you are supposed to go with the flow, but there are some times where it's just like, no, you need to take control of this. Okay, so it's using your discernment and knowing when it's time to do that. Okay, so somebody else has a fear of loss. So abandonment issues. Okay, so yes, and unsocial here. So you guys could have been in, well, I was about to say hermit mode, so I'm going to say hermit mode. Or some sort of seclusion because you were being burned out, whoever you were around. You know, this could be toxic family members, toxic lovers, toxic friends, a combination of all for some of you here who wanted you to be perfect here, seeking perfection. Now, for some of you guys, the reason why it didn't work out with somebody is because, you know, they couldn't, they felt like you weren't enough for them or you wasn't good enough. Okay, or this is how you felt about somebody, you know. Okay, and it caused a lot of confusion here. All right. You don't know what you want, so you need clarity before you get involved, okay? And anybody that is for sure about you is not going to make you question where you stand with them, okay? So you're being guided to go out and meet new people. So, you know, you can start, you know, I'm hearing gaining your soul tribe, okay? So so for some of you guys, you had to learn what it is that you wanted and didn't want, right? Okay, somebody else that you were around too needed to learn what they wanted and didn't want because indecision was here. You are afraid to make a mistake, so you won't commit either way. Somebody had commitment issues, right? We were talking about that abandonment issue. And when typically, and this is not everybody, typically when somebody has that abandonment wound, you know, they're more willing to put themselves in situations that are undeserving because they want to keep that friend or they want to keep that partner, even though they're not treating them right? I've been guilty of it too, right? Because we don't want to get left again. We don't, you know, but also at the same time, we're hurting ourselves by allowing disrespect to continue to happen, right? And that doesn't mean that we're perfect. That doesn't mean that we're holier than thou, but that doesn't mean that we should be anybody's stepping stone either. Okay. And some of you guys, you know, you grew up in a household where you were unconsciously taught people pleasing because that was the unhealed wound of one of your parents, if not both, or your caregiver, if you're in the foster system or have, some sort of situation. Okay. And so it's like some of you guys could feel like you're a lone wolf, right? Or the black sheep in your family here, or in your love life, or in your friends. Like you just feel like you don't belong. Okay. Now this was in reverse. So this more so kind of alludes to the fact of whoever you guys were dealing with, unless this is you, somebody, instead of like dropping them. So in order to be with you, or in order for you to be with them, whatever side of the story that you're on here, it required someone here to drop the people, drop the habits, drop the mindsets that and behaviors that what is not serving to self, and that causes pain and suffering and hinders any form of healthy connection and maintenance of one. Okay, in any way, shape, or form. Family, friends, lovers, even when it comes to certain, right? Because you got to have some sort of self-respect. And don't get me wrong, not everybody was taught that, literally, right? Because the parent wasn't able to teach that. So, because they didn't have any for themselves, right? And kids are sponges. They pick up everything, right, that they see, because they're learning, right? Literally, when a baby is born, we don't know. Things are learned. Racism is learned. Self-esteem is learned. Bullying is learned. Okay? A lot of a lot of stuff is learned here. So this is why we just have to be mindful. So like, too busy. You're using being busy as an excuse not to date. You must make time for a partner. So it's basically what I'm hearing is like, and because I'm taking notes that a lot of these cards came out in reverse, it's a lot of resistance. So somebody, either this is you or whoever you're dealing with here, they have a resistance to change. So they didn't do what they were supposed to do in order to be with you, or you didn't do what you were supposed to do in order to be with someone here. And in all honesty, you are supposed to do these things for yourself, right? Self-love comes first. Okay, God comes first, but you got to have self-love in order to be able to give it to someone else, right? So like, for example, if someone, has a high sex drive, okay, well, just because you have a plethora of people that you could call or that wants to give it to you, that doesn't mean that they deserve you. That doesn't mean that they're worthy of having sex with you. Just because, that you can have anybody come and put it down, or you can put it down on anybody. No, you need to have standards. Okay, just because somebody is willing don't mean that you should be going. Okay, but that also doesn't mean that you can't have your fun too. It's just being mindful, right? See, when you have self-respect and self-love, you're more mindful of the things that you do. Just because you can doesn't mean that you should. In certain aspects, not in all, right? Just like I'm saying, I'm not saying don't have sex, right? That was just an example, but you got to be mindful of who and what you're doing things with too. And I have to learn. I've been learning that as well. Right? So I'm just passing that knowledge just on, right? So you don't have to go through a lot of the things that I went through. Being guarded. You are lonely because you are so aloof. Trust others and let them into your heart. Now, for some of you guys, you are being a little guarded and you do want friends, but it's like, how are friends supposed to meet you if you don't step out? Or put yourself on some sort of friend app or whatever the case may be. And of course, it's all your decision, but they're just bringing this to your attention. Okay. And for others of you, you're not alone enough. You keep gravitating to people because you don't know how to be by yourself. And this is not to say, don't talk to anybody, because we do need community. Well, we don't need just any community. We need a community we can thrive in and feel safe and secure in, where God is present, right? So a lot of you guys, unfortunately, some of you didn't grow up in that type of environment. So this is why you cling. So it's understandable, but also at the same time, it's been a hindrance. I'm hearing, you got to form a balance and address those unhealed wounds with some shadow work here. There's nothing wrong with seeing a therapist, or if you don't want to get diagnosed, a life coach or a mentor. Okay, there's different resources out here. And if you want any type of coaching, I am a certified spiritual life coach. I'm also a licensed professional counselor. I'm a therapist. Although this is not counseling and this is not life coaching, this is for entertainment purposes only. I do offer spiritual life coaching, kicking it with life, okay? And if you want any one-on-one sessions, you can feel free to go on the website, Download Spiritual Guidance, click on Kicking It With Life. That's the name of the coaching that I offer, okay? You can look at the prices. You can look at, the things that comes with, all right? Reiki comes with certain ones too. All right, I'm also a Reiki practitioner as well, okay? And everything is online, no in person, okay? Or at least as of yet. But everything is online, all right? And if you don't see any openings in my books, you can feel free to email me, because I may just not have opened something, and I can still, put you down if you, want your consultation, okay? And or just start with your sessions. So for those that are interested, okay, that are serious about your healing, okay? Don't come to me if you're not serious about your healing. We don't expect perfection, okay? We're supposed to make mistakes. But if you don't have the willingness to change, why are you here? Okay, because doing the same thing is not going to get you a different result. That's the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. It's not going to happen. So when you're willing to when you are wanting and desiring to get a new result with God in the mix with your spiritual team, hit me up, or another spiritual life coach that you can trust. Because remember, everybody isn't who they say they are. Every practitioner isn't a good practitioner. Okay, so giving too much. So you guys are learning to not give so much, okay? Or you need to learn not to give so much, because whoever you've been dealing with, like, they didn't pour into you, or you didn't pour into them. Whoever this is to you. Okay? To attach. You're learning how to detach from energies that burn you out and drain you. And again, they don't nurture you. And whoever this is that you are dealing with, friends with, love or family with, you've had to cut them off for some of you, or you're being guided to, because again, I'm hearing it's causing more harm than good. Or they were. Okay, this could be past, present, or future information for you. And if you want to book a personal reading, you can feel free to do that via the website link that's linked in the description box, downwardspiritualguidance.com. Just click on the website and click on tarot. Yeah. So it was like you were using this energy to fill a void, or they were doing this to you. Okay, and don't get me wrong. You can heal with certain connections, but you got to learn how to first be by yourself and feel comfortable and content and have that self-love and self-respect for yourself. Because that's the foundation, right? That's a part of your foundation along with God. And then you can start applying that to your connections, right? Then you can start applying that to your relationships and so on and so forth, right? Because that helps navigate who you're going to allow into your life and not, right? It helps you categorize certain people in your life as well. Certain people, they may be a good friend, but they don't make a good partner, right? They may make a good parent, but they may not be the best to talk to about certain things, right? So it's all about the whatever situation you've been dealing with, the good, the bad, the ugly, when it comes to love. You've been learning a lot about love, what love is, what love is not. And if you haven't, that's a part of the lesson for you to learn. Because for some of you guys, someone didn't have a clear understanding of what real unconditional God's love is. Okay, and unconditional love does not mean unconditionally tolerating disrespect. It doesn't mean unconditionally tolerating abuse. or any form of mistreatment. That's not what unconditional God love is. That's not what it is. Okay? And again, yes, we do need community, but it's the type of people that's making up the community, right? You want to be able to thrive in the community, feel heard, feel seen, feel safe and secure in your community, right? With God in the middle. And so a lot of you guys, you don't have that, and you're discovering that the people around you don't provide that because, you know, sometimes when we haven't healed certain wounds, sometimes the people that we may choose to go towards or continue to keep around, we don't see certain things, right? That's why it's so important to heal, because they can serve as blockages and blinders, right? And I had to learn that too, still learning. And yeah, you steady dealing with people that's giving you mixed signals here, okay? Yes, and putting yourself all in, which is nothing wrong with that, but don't neglect yourself. But you guys were neglecting yourself. Self-neglect. Okay? And anybody that genuinely wants you is not going to, you know, make you feel like you are a job, because why would they even get with you? Or vice versa. Okay? That abandonment wound again. Love's the answer. Okay? So love won't solve your problems. You need to work on being independent. So for some of you guys, you know, it's like learning how to be by yourself. Not saying that you can't have a friend, a real friend, you know, or have people that you talk to, but it's finding a balance of being by yourself, getting that solitude so you can think clearly, so you won't just accept people around. Because like for example, I don't like to phony kick it. And this is not to say do what I do. This is just an example, right? I don't like to phony kick it. So I will go to the movies by myself if I feel like the people that I want to go with is not available, or, you know, we not on good terms right now because we're going through a conflict. Because, you know, people go through storms, right? That the storm doesn't mean that it has to be abusive, right? You can have flaws and not be abusive. But I will go and sit at a restaurant, and even if I'm not into it with anybody, just as a form of self-care, I will take myself out any given time of the day, okay? And slay away, okay? I will sit there and I will go to the nail shop. I will go get my hair done. I will go get my eyebrows done. I will go to the restaurant. I will go to the movies. I will go to the mall, okay? And pamper. And I'm not saying that you have to do those things in order for you to pamper, whatever it looks like for you. Right? It's like, you know, some of you guys I'm hearing would lose yourself in people, or they would lose themselves in you here. It was some sort of an inequality here, okay? And although love is the answer for a lot of things, it still needs to be more work when it comes to certain decision making here, whether this is you or whoever you were dealing with here. Okay, so let's take a look at, you know, what they want to say, whoever you were dealing with, whoever's on your mind at the time of watching this. Okay, yeah, you didn't feel valued or appreciated, and that's been coming up a lot in the readings here. Or they didn't feel valued or appreciated by you. Flip the energies as you see fit. And also feel free to subscribe to our YouTube/Zodiac channel, Don Juan Spiritual Guidance. It's linked in the description box. Those readings are timeless over there as well. All right, Holy Spirit. Oh, well. It is okay to cry. So it is, you know, they're letting, it's like their higher self, this is from their higher selves. It's like their higher selves knows that their 3D selves just overall messed up. Okay. What does it say? I've changed my mind, you know. So it's like their higher selves know that their 3D selves was really indecisive, right? With that indecision here, with that I changed my mind. Like, who Like, who wants to deal with somebody like that when they truly in love with them, or when somebody truly cares for somebody? You know, that hurts. So for some of you guys, you were dealing with someone like that. Look at that. I've changed my mind. I've changed my mind. Look at this indecision. Okay. I am no good for you. So their higher self is basically saying, look, I'm no good for you. Well, my 3D self is no good for you. Okay. This is the end. Now, although it was in reverse, they don't want it to be the end, or you don't want it to be the end. See, they feel like a failure because of everything that they took you through. Or this is how you feel towards them. With energies as you see fit, things are moving too fast. So then we talked about this, you know, things went too fast, and you're learning how to take your time and, you know, vet people. I give up. So, you know, you gave up this connection, or they gave up this connection, right? But they have a lot of regrets here. Or you do, whatever side of the story that you're on here. Why did you have to go? Everything is not what it seems. So it's like they could be putting on the front like they happy without you, but they really not. Okay, it's just a front. They really want to know, why did you leave? They really want to know, why didn't it work out? They really want to know what's on your mind and what you doing, and how they can be yours again. Okay, or how y'all can get back tight. You know, whether it's the friend, platonic, or relationship, romantic. And you know, we don't discriminate over here. God and I, we don't discriminate against love. We welcome monogamy, poly, LGBTQIA plus. This is a safe and sacred space. If you don't like it, there's other readers. Okay, so you have to remember to put God first, but outside of that, you know, you got to put yourself first. And that some of you guys, you were taught that putting yourself first was selfish, and no, it's not. No, it's not. This is coming from a professional. Although this is for entertainment purposes only, I went to school for this. Putting yourself first is not selfish. Why? Because you have to fill your cup. You have to pour into yourself. When you hear a lot of people say they feel like they're running off of fumes, you have to fill the gas tank up in your car. You have to recharge your phone, your laptop, right? I just said this the other day. Sometimes we tend to treat our electronics better than we treat ourselves. You have to fill your cup. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Okay, some of you guys, you were dealing with people, lovers, friends, family members, or this was you to somebody else with the energies as you see fit, would get mad when you would pour into yourself because you weren't pouring into them. Somebody was an attention whore. Let's call a spade, right? Somebody wanted you to play mommy or daddy to them. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with being nurtured. There's nothing wrong with taking care of your man, woman, non-binary, your partner, friend, whatever, family member. But you also, it's like somebody could have had just no respect for you, or you didn't have no respect for somebody. It was just, and you know, that's why they said, be mindful of not to lose yourself. What does it say? I have so many regrets. Yeah. And it sucks because everybody doesn't get these teachings because, again, their caregivers or parents didn't unlearn their shit, right? So for a lot of you guys here, this is the Capricorn and Chosen One channel, and Chosen Ones are meant to uplift the generational curses, right? So a generational curse here to be uplifted is mindsets, limiting beliefs here. Okay, when it comes to love, when it comes to vetting, when it comes to morality, integrity, when it comes to how we handle ourselves, and you know, how we address other people when we're mad versus and when we're not. You know, somebody had to learn here, both parties. Okay, so this was a lesson, guys. This was a learning experience. Okay, for whoever you were dealing with here, and they could have been jealous of you, or you could have been jealous of them here. And it's one thing to be jealous, right? Because people are going to have emotions, but it's another thing to act on that. You know, it's another thing to act on that. And they said they're healing this, but I need time to heal. Yeah. You know, so, but it looks like that realization, I need time to heal, came after the fact for a lot of you. When it comes to your partner noticing or your family member noticing, because a lot of you guys feel like this bridge is burned. You know, so It's going to be up to you what you want to do. All right, with whoever this is that you're dealing with, unless this is you. So flip the energies as you see fit. And thank you all for your love and support here. It's truly, truly appreciated. And always remember that you make your own decisions. Peace out. Deuces.